Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Eric.
Yeah, today is the 28th of July 2021, and the time now is 6:15 a.m. Well, today is a review topic, and the topic I would like to talk about is first, uh, is about the footsteps, the human footsteps
I also
into
want to dis-
energy.
I also want to
Oh,
discuss about the footstep.
okay, yeah, and the second one in my list, which is the last one, is about our yesterday's topic, the AI robot girlfriend. Yeah. So how about you? How about you?
Okay, the second of my topic is the happiness versus pleasure.
Okay.
In that in that conversation, we discuss about the belief and optimist. I want
Mm,
to correct something. Okay,
okay.
and third one is the also is about the happiness, but it is the happiness at work.
Mm,
We talk
yeah.
about passion, and I want to add in some point.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah.
All right. So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. So here we go. Yep. And then, yeah. Firstly, I think we may start talking about um. Do you want to start with the footstep
Yeah.
topic?
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I think I may share mine because it is not long. Okay. Firstly, for this, I think, from an economic point of view, it is really incompetitive. Yeah, it is in line with what we thought that day. And then, yeah, I think with nuclear energy, this technology, I mean, this footstep to convert to energy. This technology was simply um, incompetitive because nuclear energy is much cheaper than this. And then yeah, this is the first point. And then second point is that maybe sometimes we think footstep energy, the footstep technology, we can use this to to convert to energy like the solar panels, which ordinary people they can also install maybe at their home, or maybe like somebody else say, maybe we can invent something which we actually use this technology in our shoes, so that every step we go, we can collect the energy, and this energy is for our own use. But yeah, I think for this one, it also doesn't make sense because for solar panels, we install on the rooftop, either is our house or our factory or any other buildings. We can use the energy we produced through the panels we have, and then to support ourselves. And at the same time, if we have more energy, we can sell them back to the government, and then we can earn money. So in that case, that it that could be an investment, and people install that. They can actually be better off if they want to accept that investment. Yeah, but for this one, footstep converting into energy, if we can do that, let's say we install it in the shoes and then we buy the shoes, and then we can create energy from that. Actually, it's convert, and then maybe it is something like a power bank. You can save the energy in a battery, and then you can maybe use the power bank maybe to charge your phone or to other purpose. But with this one, we can also get uh, energy. I mean the electricity from the power point, which we were using currently using for electricity, and then this power point electricity mainly maybe coming from nuclear in the future. So it's again fighting with nuclear. So uh, it's also can I think it is also difficult to compete because nuclear energy is so cheap, and because it is powerful, that it can create uh, so much electricity compared to the footstep. Yeah, so I think either point fight dealing with nuclear, dealing with solar panels, footstep energy, footstep technology, um, yeah, couldn't stand even. Yep. So these are some of my thinkings for this topic, and you may begin yours.
Yeah, and I did some research and I found that there's one article, one video talk about
Mm,
one step, how many, how much, how much ener how much energy or how much
mm,
electricity can be
yeah,
generated by one footstep. Mm.
yeah,
And the video state that is about 10 watt
per
mm.
second, right? Something like that, right? But
per step,
mm,
per step. Yeah.
per
So
step. Okay.
yeah, if you step once, then
Mm,
you'll get 10 watt. Yeah, but I'm not sure how they store the batteries because the way you store the battery and then the way you use it,
mm,
because of the conversions, you couldn't get that much
yeah,
electricity. Mm.
yeah.
But let's assume what they say is correct, is
Mm,
10 watt. And then so if you can walk 10,000, yeah, if you can walk
mm,
10,000 steps, because uh like a lot of doctors will say, yeah, you have to walk ten
yeah.
thousand
Every day,
per
right?
day.
Mm,
And then 10,000 steps can generate how much watt.
mm,
Yeah. So if one step is 10 watt, so 10,000 step is 100K,
mm,
100,000 watts, which
yeah.
means 100 kilowatt.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, 100 kilowatt. And the electricity bill of my JP house
yeah.
last month is around 202 kilowatt.
Mm,
Mm. And so it equal about uh
half of it.
half of it is double.
Oh, double.
Yeah. 202 gigawatts. So 202 kilowatts, which
Mm,
equal uh uh 20 20,200 steps. Yeah. So 20,000 steps is actually very little, right? You
mm, mm,
can imagine, like if you
yeah.
if you walk like 2 days and then you can get this energy. Now, of course,
Mm,
here we ignore the conversion.
mm,
Okay, but the real problem is here. How much the money we pay for the electricity bill?
mm,
Yeah, 202 kilowatts is around 40.25 Malaysian ringgit.
mm,
Yeah, it's around 40 ringgit. So
yeah.
if you convert back how much you can earn from one step, 0.02. So it's 2 cents.
Mm,
Yeah, one step, 2 cents. Mm, yeah. Then this is the earning you can earn. Yeah,
yeah.
from yeah. Uh, if you try to replace this footstep energy, sorry, I
Mm,
mean try to replace your PowerPoint energy to the footstep energy. Yeah, but if
yeah.
you want to sell back to the energy market, you couldn't sell that high.
Mm.
And
Yep.
also, yeah, but of course, is in the Western country, their electricity bill, their electricity cost is much higher. And I don't see the point. I don't see the point to make an investment like this.
Mm.
Yeah, just 2 cents per step.
Yeah.
And then how many steps can the machine stand?
Mm.
You because maybe you need to do the maintenance,
Yeah.
and is it relate how many steps uh you step on uh the tile. Yeah,
Mm.
how many
Mm.
steps you step on the tile.
Yeah.
As more you do, and then the more likely you need to spend more maintenance cost.
Mm.
And also about the investment, the initial investment is not that cheap, is it?
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not
And
cheap.
yeah, and also I don't think they can recover by just selling the electricity back to the energy market or
Mm.
returns to the society.
Yep. Yep.
Like the solar and the nuclear, they can really generate the energy. Just like last time you told me few years ago, your father's company want to plan to install the solar panel, and it costs
Mm.
around 50K or 40K.
Yeah, I think it's not. I want to correct a little bit. The original cost is something like 90K, but the government will help you in terms of grants, and then it can deduct like 20K, so it's around 70K.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah, but
around
it also depends on how many panels you
mm,
install. Mm.
yeah, so it's around 70K, and then you say that after install the solar panel, it can supply the electricity for the whole factory. So
Yep.
you don't need to buy the electricity from a TMB from a utility company. So
Mm.
yeah, and 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 that saving is significant actually, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, and
just need
then
mm,
yeah, and it's not only for our own supply. It for 90K cost of solar panels, it's actually more than more than what we use, and we can earn back from that.
mm,
Yeah, we can sell back the electricity produced, and then we haven't used up, and then those remaining we can sell back to the government.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how much electricity cost per month?
For my father's factory, I'm not sure, but it was quite expensive. I think it's four-digit figures
Wow,
per
per month.
month. Yeah,
Per
because that is an industrial area, so the electricity will also be at a higher rate.
mm.
Mm. Yep.
Okay, let's assume it's 900. Let's assume it's 900. If you
Mm.
times 12 months, it's 10K. So you need, yeah, because last time you say about you need 7 years,
Mm. Yep.
7 years to
Right.
recover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot, is it,
Mm.
compared to this two-step energy.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, it's actually good because previously I also came across how much energy, how much electricity can one step produce, and I also got the figure, but I couldn't like make it into
Oh,
a way that I can understand how much it is. Yeah, and now you make us understand one step is basically or roughly equal to 2 cents. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, and yeah, since you got your statistic, what's the what you get?
It's
What's
something like seven. I forgot the unit they use. It's something like 7 watts or kilowatts per
oh, no.
second. There is
Uh,
a per s there.
yeah, I think okay. I think because this is the step.
Mm.
Uh, and how the tire work is actually you step deep, and then you
Mm.
release your step, and then
Yeah.
it will activate the tire to convert the kinetic energy to the
Mm.
electricity. So you couldn't like you put the very heavy things on the tire and then it will keep generating the energy. It's not like this.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need this is active. This is work by the kinetic energy, and we couldn't convert the heavy thing. We couldn't convert the weight to yeah
Mm.
to the energy. It's not it's not the case. Mm.
Yeah.
So per seconds, that means maybe you can step you 1 step per second. Maybe they calculate like this. And just now you talk about kilowatt. This is impossible. Yeah, impossible 1 kilowatt. Mm. One
Mm.
step impossible generate 1 kilowatts. 1 kilowatt is actually quite a lot already. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I'm also not sure the unit they use already. I forgot already.
Yeah, I think it's watt. Mm.
Mm.
For my research, this is 10 watts. From your research, this is 7 watts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all for this topic.
Yep.
Anything in?
No.
Okay. The next topic I want to make a review is about happiness versus pleasure. And this topic we talk about the belief. We talk about success formula, which
Mm.
is success equal to optimist, which is the belief plus your hard work plus your passions.
Mm. Yeah.
And I also talk about the belief can be learned, can be trained. This is an acquired skill. So this is something that we can learn, can be cultivated, and not governed by our genes.
Mm.
And in that conversation, I talk about the ABC, and A is the attitude, and as well as the effect, and B stand for the behavior or behavioral, and C is actually the connective. Yeah, connective.
Yeah.
So it's ABC, and it's also our tomorrow topic, right?
Mm.
Okay, but one thing I want to correct is actually uh from the lecture I watched is actually this ABC is not about the belief. It's not about how you cultivate your belief. Yeah, it's another thing. Yeah, this ABC is relate to the change. Yeah, to change. And you also can think like this is relate to the actions. Okay.
Mm.
And then how do you cultivate the belief? How do you cultivate the positive belief? Actually also actually also 3 ways. The first is taking action. And it is same as the behavior that I mentioned.
Mm.
But you can think like this ABC methods. This ABC method is actually you can think like all is related to the taking actions because it guides you how to take action.
Yeah.
Whether you want to change your attitude first, and then or maybe you want to change your behavior first. But the most effective way is change your behavior and then get your get your attitude aligns with your behavior.
Mm.
So it is about taking action.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I summarize about how do we become optimists. Mm.
Yeah.
And the first is taking actions, and because you take actions, you'll be more confident when you have more confidence, you are more willing to put in effort. You are more willing to put in times in the particular thing. So it triggered the hard work. And then after that, you see result. When you see result, you work better. And then after that, when you see better result, when you work better, and then you gain more confidence. Yeah. So this is something like upward spiral. Yeah. So this is about taking actions.
Yeah.
So why taking actions is one of the way to become optimist, to become a better believer. Yeah, this is because of the perception theory, which is something that I told you in the past. Self perception theory is about we derive the conclusion from ourselves, same as we derive the conclusion from other people. So, for example, we see a person go on the stage, or maybe they do something really meaningful, and they do something they speak to the public. Okay, they speak to the public, and then you think, wow, these people is brave, and then he or she create a value to the society. Yeah, and you think, yeah, these people is wonderful. And then, but what if you are the person who do the thing? You derive the same conclusion that other people will give you from your own behavior. Yeah. So if you see somebody go on the stage and then speak to the public, and if you do the same things, you will also think yourself. You will also consider yourself as a as a highly confident person, and also is a brave person, and also is a person who will share your knowledge to other people. Yeah. So this theory is very important in terms of the action. Yeah, because if this is true, then we must be act as much integrity as we can. Yeah, because if you do something fake with your mind, so come back to the ABC. If you talk in another way, but maybe inside your mind, you think in positive, or maybe you think this thing is possible, but when you say out to somebody because you want to keep it conservative, you want to be conservative, so you say, there is some risk, or there is something like that, and then so there is two way based on ABC. Your behavior will align back to your attitude, or second, your attitude will align to your behavior. So which one you want? Yeah, and which one you don't want to occur? Yeah, and based on the self-perception theory, because you mention the thing, you tell the thing to other people which you think is risky or something like that. So probably you will get something that you don't want, which is your attitude aligned to your behavior. Yeah, even though initially you think it's possible and it can work. So let's say you are doing a business. You are doing a business, and inside your mind you may think, yeah, maybe 70% you can success. But when you tell other people you like to be conservative, and then you say, yeah, there's some risk and there's some things, and then maybe it will increase the probability of failure. Yeah, if you keep talking about the bad things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is about the taking action. But of course, the taking action is taking the real action. Yeah. And word is better than nothing. And also the behavior, your real actions is better than the speech, than the talk. Yeah. So maybe in the case of the entrepreneur, maybe they like to be conservative. Yeah, they want to let other people know there's some risk if you want to join. But maybe from their own behavior, they work really hard. They really believe the thing can work. So they spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of efforts into their business. Yeah. So this is how the self-perception theory works.
Yeah.
This is your action uh is more your action is heavy. It's more heavy than your action is heavier than than your speech. Yeah. And your speech can and your speech is also heavier than your thoughts because it can affect back your mind. Your action can also affect back your mind, and it aligns with something. It aligns with some. It aligns something. It aligns to something that we learned in the past, which is the body language, which is something I also mentioned in the happiness versus pleasure.
Yeah.
If you do a strong posture, and then this is a behavior, it's a strong posture, and then it will affect your mind. And if you do a weak posture, and then it will also affect your mind. It will release some chemical that you don't want. Yeah, so this is the taking actions and the relationship between taking and the implication of the perception theory.
Yeah.
And the second is the imagination. Yeah. The second is the imagination. So this is a way similar to the visualization. So you imagine you success. You imagine your success. Yeah, and a lot of study already proved that this actually work because in our brain we couldn't distinguish whether it is a real thing or whether it's a fake thing. Yeah. And in Chinese, we also have one proverb which is the you see the snake in the cup. Yeah, the tea in the cup.
Yeah.
And but it's actually not the small snake. It's actually the shadow of an arrow. Yeah. And from scientific evidence, we also know about the placebo effect, the nocebo effect. This is similar. So this is about the power of mind. Yeah. And imagination really can help us to help us to believe in something more. Yeah, because our brain couldn't distinguish whether it is a fake thing, whether it's a real thing, and our brains don't like the don't like the disalignments. Yeah, it don't like the inconsistent. So based on the ABC, if you keep thinking on your success, yeah, and then it probably there's a possibility, or there's a probability it will lead you to work more, to work harder, or to take action. Yeah. So it will drag your behavior to your attitude, to your mind. Yeah. And then how do we imagine how do we visualize, effectively and also in an appropriate way. Is okay. There are 3 points. The first is you not only imagine your destination, you also imagine your journey. So for example, you want to get A, and you not only imagine after you get A, how happy you was. Yeah, your friends will come to you and congratulate you. The teacher will say, well done. Your parents will give you some gift, something like that. This is about the destination. And you also need to imagine how do you get this success? How do you get this destination, which is the journey? You need to imagine you walked into the library to read a lot of book, to check a lot of resource, the learning resource, and then you maybe you can imagine you ask your lecturer a lot of questions. You can also imagine you form a study group with your friends, and then your guys study together. You also can imagine you work really hard at your home, at your house. Yeah, so this is the journey.
Yeah.
You also need to imagine the journey, and by doing this, it increases the probability you take into actions. Yeah. And this is the first. Uh, this is the first tips, and the second tips is you try to utilize as more sense as possible. For example, when you imagine, maybe you see the picture. So this is you invoke the sight. Yeah, but you also can invoke the hearing. You also can invoke the hearing, which is somebody tell you, congratulations, well done, all that. Yeah. And you also can invoke the touch. Your parents, maybe your father, put his hand on your shoulder and say well done, like that. So also invoke the touch, and then what we can have, maybe the taste. Yeah, maybe a taste. Somebody give you somebody treat you a delicious food. Yeah. Maybe the smell. Yeah, you can imagine like this. You also can imagine when you step in the office and then get your result, the paper on your hand, how they feel. What's the feel of a paper? Yeah. There's also about the touch. Yeah. So you invoke as much sense as you can. Yeah, when you do the visualization. Yeah. And this is the second tips. And the third tips is you try to evoke you try to invoke your emotions. Yeah. Oh. You try to invoke your emotion, because we know most of our decision is actually derived by the emotion, but not from our rational. Yeah, and emotions is really powerful and also really important to us, and it can lead to it can change our behavior. And most of the time we behave something is because we have a particular set of emotions. Yeah. Yeah. And for most of the people, yeah, even though this is a rational guys, but most of their decisions is also formed by the emotion. It's also come from the emotion, not from the rational. Yeah. And then how do you invoke the emotions? And yeah, you try to think, you try to imagine what's the feeling at that particular moment. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe at the destinations, yeah, when you get the A, yeah, you feel so touched, you feel so happy. Yeah, this is the emotion. And during the journey, you walk into the library and then you can feel the sense of accomplishments because everybody can see you. When everybody see you is a hardworking person. And at that time you feel, wow, I become more confident because everybody think I'm confident. I also think I'm confident because of the self-perception theory. Yeah. And also you also can imagine that you work pretty hard. Yeah, and then your parents, maybe this is in the midnight, and then your parents ask you to sleep. They'll say you don't want. Yeah, I want to study 30 minutes more, and your parents say, wow, yeah, so hardworking and things like that. You can try to invoke your emotions. You also can imagine you face some obstacles in the journey. You face really difficult questions that you couldn't get an answer. And at that time you feel struggling. You almost want to give up.
Yeah.
But you plan to get the answer, but you plan to overcome it, you plan to understand the subject, the syllabus. Yeah. So after that you feel, yeah, it's a relief, or maybe it's a very good thing. I feel very happy. This is you try to invoke your emotions.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about the second way. How do you become an optimist? Yeah, it's about the visualization, success visualization. And the third one is the cognitive therapy. Yeah, and cognitive therapy is is the most effective way based on the scientific research. This is the most effective way, and also this is the most efficient way, which is you not only get the best result, the effective, the time you need to spend, the times the persons recover is also the shorter, is also the shortest time compared to other cognitive intervention methods. Yeah. So this is the most effective more effective methods to intervene, to intervene, and then to cure your mind, yeah, in a positive way. So in short, this is actually about the interpretation. It change your interpretation of events. Yeah. And the backbone of this cognitive therapy is emotion. Emotion lead to our thought. Our thought can trigger our emotion. And our emotions most of the time will lead to a behavior. So for example, you see a lion in front of you, and then what's your thought? The lion is going to eat me. Is going to kill me. So the thoughts lead to the emotions, and then what's the emotions? Is fear. Yeah, it's fear. And then what the emotions lead to? What is the behavior? What is the actions? Lead by the the emotion. Maybe you run. You want to run away, or maybe you want to fight with the lion. Yeah. So this is the backbone. Yeah. And then how do we interpret? How do we change the interpretations of the events? Which is how do we change the thought on a particular event? That can change our emotions. They can trigger our different emotions. So different emotion will lead to a different behavior. Yeah, does it make
Yep.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So there are three points here. Yeah, there are 3 points here. And the interpretation of events, yeah, no matter you interpret subjectively or objectively, but maybe you couldn't interpret something objectively in real life. Yeah, you can only interpret something subjectively, but even in this case, the scientists found that yeah, even the person interpret the event subjectively in a positive way. It also will create a better result. It will lead to a high happiness. Yeah, increase the immune systems. Yeah, and the skin become better. Or any other benefit you can imagine. And less mental problem, less stress, and a longer life expectancy. Yeah, and there's 3 points here. The lecture called this as 3M.
Okay.
Okay, the first M is magnifying. Magnifying is something like you maximize something, you exaggerate something. Yeah. So when we face a problem, for example, we get after exams, and then we get the result.
Yeah.
And the result is failed. They'll fail the exam. And then you may think, yeah, I failed the exam, so I'm not a person can learn well. Yeah, and I'm not the person who can learn well. I couldn't find a job. I definitely will die in the future. So it's a magnifying. Yeah. Or maybe, yeah, I failed this exam, so my final exam sure will be a terrible result. I sure will get a terrible result in the final exam. Even though this is just a small test.
Yeah.
So, or maybe, yeah, I failed the exam, I'm stupid. I'm not smart. So this is magnifying. But you fail the exam. Is there any relationship between failing exams and your stupidity? Or maybe fail exams, fail a test? Does it mean that you couldn't pass, you couldn't get A in the final exam? Or does it mean that you failed this exam, you couldn't get a job in future? Not right. Yeah. So this is how we need to be aware our magnifying thought. Yeah, sometimes we face an obstacle, we may magnifying something. We may magnifying the obstacle. And at this time, we need to ask ourselves, yeah, whether am I magnifying something?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is about the first and magnifying, and the second is the opposite of the magnifying, is the minimizing.
Oh.
Yeah, minimizing. There's one term to describe it, minimizing, which is the tunnel visions. Tunnel means the 隧道, tunnel visions.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of like narrow your view, narrow your vision, so you can only see a small thing. Yeah. For example, when you get an appraiser, maybe from your college, or maybe from some of your friends, and then you feel very happy. Yeah, feel very happy. Yeah. Or maybe let's say it's also an exam.
Yeah.
You get an A, and then your teacher tell, wow, well done, and then your friends congratulate you. But does it mean that you are smart? Does it mean that you can pass and also you can get A in the final exams if this is a small test? It also doesn't mean that, but is it means that you can get the high paying job in future? It also doesn't mean that. Yeah. And then how about if something we make a mistake? For example, we try to minimize the mistake. We try to think, yeah, it's not a big deal. This is not a mistake. And yeah, this mistake is inevitable. And then yeah, it is yeah, maybe a mistake cause a lot of problems and then create a lot of damage. Sorry. Let me rephrase because the minimizing the tunnel visions is something like you make a mistake. Okay, you make a mistake, but you ignore the good things you have made. Okay, and your vision is narrow to the particular mistake. Yeah, your vision is narrowed into your particular mistake. Yeah. So you're just concerned about the mistake. You ignore the other good things you have done. So let's say you write an article. And then is it a good article? And many people comment on that, yeah, and say it's a good article, and then it helped me a lot. But you realize something, yeah, you got a grammar mistake at here, or you got a vocabulary mistake in your article, and then you're telling yourself it's not a good essay, it's not a good article because you make the grammar mistake, because you make the vocabulary mistake. Yeah. In fact, other people don't mind that, and other people also don't realize it, and other people also still think this article give them a new knowledge. Yeah, let them learn a new thing. Yeah, so this is how televisions. Yeah, sometimes we narrow our vision into a small mistake, and then at the end we ignore other good things. Yeah, so sometimes we need to ask ourselves, do we narrow our visions or some small thing so it lead us feel unhappy? Yeah, it lead us feel unhappy, but actually there is something that's not that important. Yeah, there's something is maybe it's unimportant, or maybe it is something that's you can change. Yeah, you can change. Yeah, so because you already made the mistake, maybe you need to take note. Yeah, next time you don't make the same mistake. Yeah. So maybe this is the only thing you need to do, but it's not like focus on the mistake and also think that you are not doing good. Yeah, you are not doing well. Yeah, and this is unnecessary. Yeah, so it is about the minimizing. Okay. Yeah, and this is the second aim of the cognitive therapy. Yeah, and then the mindset of this cognitive therapy, the first is you interpret the event subjectively in a positive way. Yeah, in a positive way. And it also need to reflect some reality. Yeah, because we know the reality is not black and white. There is something gray here, and it depends how do you see. It depends what perspective you look into. Yeah. So even you interpret the event subjectively, but you see the thing from a positive way, doesn't mean that you're you kind of like faking something. Yeah, it must be still reflects the reality. So but the main point here is subjectively, and second main point is positively. Yeah, so positively. So which means that if you found that you have a negative thought, and you want to have the awareness to see, yeah, whether you fall into the trap, whether you fall into this 3M trap. Yeah, if you fall into this 3M trap, and then try to remind yourself, oh, I'm doing the minimizing, I'm doing the magnifying. Yeah, so you can change your thoughts, you can change your, and you can change your emotion. Okay, and in the third M is okay, suddenly I forget about the M. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Okay, I couldn't remember the third M. Yeah, but never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe when maybe I will check, and then I will add in tomorrow topic. Okay. Yeah. So this is okay, and this how to become optimist, how to become an optimist. First is taking action, and second is visualize your success. And also not only the destination and also your journey. And also the third way is a cognitive therapy. Yeah. And this is really quite confusing, especially after I learned about the ABC, attitude, behavior, and the cognitive. And because actually they overlap each other. So this is really confusing, and also about the belief. There are three ways taking actions: imagine success, and the cognitive therapy. And inside these three ways, there are some main point. You also really hard to memorize. Yeah. But does it mean that you have a bad memory? But does it mean that you couldn't learn well? You are stupid? No. Yeah, no. You just need more practice. You just need to review. You just need to do some revisions. Okay, so okay, and this is one of example about the tunnel visions. Yeah, because you narrow to something that you make a mistake or you couldn't understand well. So this is about the minimizing. This is about the tunnel vision, or maybe you think this is quite complicated. I could understand. I couldn't remember. Yeah, so you kind of like minimizing. You kind of like narrow your view into something. And at this point, what can you do? You change the thought. Use the cognitive therapy. You try to think, yeah, am I doing the 2M minifying or minimizing? Yeah, I'm minimizing something. So I need to take a step back, and then to see what is other reality. Yeah. So the fact here is you just need more practice. You just need to do more revisions. You just need to spend more time, spend more effort to understand the difference. The difference between these. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is about the optimist. Yeah, and one more thing is about the unrealistic optimist and also the realistic optimist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we want to be we want to be an optimist, but we don't want to be an unrealistic optimist. Yeah, and okay, actually, we couldn't directly become a realistic optimist. Yeah, and it also require hard work. It require experience. It require the knowledge, the experience in order to make a right and proper expectation. If you're doing something new, if you start something new, you couldn't give a correct expectation. You couldn't know whether you highly expect something or you under expect something. Yeah. But because of the try and error, as more you do, as more hard work you put in, you can adjust your expectations. You can adjust your expectation, and then you will become a more realistic optimist. And there's no formula to become a realistic optimist without having some unrealistic expectations. You couldn't like from one step to another. You couldn't like from point A to point B directly. There is some obstacle between them. Yeah, and there's no way without know how to run. There's no way to run. There's no way to learn how to run without falling down, without learning how to walk. Yeah. So yeah, you can walk. Yeah, you can walk naturally. But when you are a kid, when you are a baby, you keep falling down. You keep falling down. Is there any way to learn how to walk without falling down?
Without no.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
So the point here is learn to fail or fail to learn. Yeah. And instead of too concerned about the unrealistic unrealistic expectations, instead of doing that, you put in more time, you put in more effort to adjust your expectations. Yeah. To adjust what is possible and what is impossible. Yeah, and also, but the point here is the persons who give a high expectation doesn't mean that they are unrealistic. Yeah. For example, you say I want to get broadcast owner, or I want to get A, and maybe and and you just fail the exam. Yeah. You say you want to get A, but you just fail the exam. Yeah. And is it an unrealistic expectations? Maybe yes, maybe no. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. But is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Even though you just failed the exam, but still able, you're still able to get A in the final exam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to maybe your goal seem unrealistic in long terms. Maybe your goal seem unrealistic in long terms. Yeah. But if you keep keep putting more effort, if you work harder, you may turn the unrealistic ones to become realistic ones. Yeah. And also some other people try to protect their self-esteem, so they lower down their expectations. So they kind of like want to give a realistic expectations, so that they want to set their goal realistic in short term, but they actually reduce the performance in long term. Yeah, because they set even though they set a goal which is realistic in short term, and they're able to work for it, but actually it reduce the potential, and it kill the potential of them. Yeah, they actually can work better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is about the second topic I want to make a review. And the third topic I want to make a review is about the happiness at work, which is related to the passions. Okay. Hey. And recently I read the book, and the book name this is a Chinese book, and the book name is like how to earn the money, how to earn back the money from your spending. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something like the idea like something is something like you should spend more so that you can earn more money back. Yeah, and in this book, it actually talk about one theory. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this theory is invented by this author, but this is an idea. It's an idea. The idea is about the upward spiral of money. And what is upward spiral of money? Is actually like you work for your patient, you work for your passions, and then when you work for your passions, and you are more likely to work harder, and you spend more time, spend more energy on your passions, and then you earn the income. You earn the income from your passions. Yeah, you earn the income from your passions, and then after you get the income, after you get the money, you invest back into your passions, so you can work better. And after you work better, you can get more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is about the upward spiral of money. So the main point here is work for something you have passion on. Work on something you are passionate. And if you work on something that you are not passionate, and you couldn't work hard, you couldn't work really hard, and you couldn't get the happiness. But if you work for your passions, and you not only get your passions, so you not only get the happiness, you not only get the happiness, you also can get more money. You also can get more income. Because when you earn the money from a passion, and then you invest back into your passions. Yeah, so there's 4 steps here. Yeah, there's 4 steps in this book. And the first step is find your passions. And the second step is spend more time and energy on your passions. And then the third step is connect your passion and your income. So you need to figure out how to make money from your passions. Yeah, and the final step is invest into your passions and activate the upward spiral. Yeah. So this is quite related to what we mentioned in the topic. Yeah, happiness matter at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also about the passions. And the interesting thing is actually from your work you still can find some passion. You still can find your passions. Some of the thing you don't like to do, but some of the thing you like to do. So you try to do the thing you like to do more. Yeah. So and is like allocate our energy and allocate our times to something we can do well. We can do better than other people, and also something that we like to do. So and yeah, and in this book, the author gives some indicator, and also ask some questions, yeah, and require us to think some questions, yeah, how to find and guide us how to find the passion, how to find a passion in your work, how to find something you like to do. And it's related to one's idea, it's related to one concept, which is the flow. Or we also can say the transcendence, which is the 心流, the flow. Yeah. So there are some questions, for example, like, do you know what is the purpose of your work? Or maybe do you know what is the purpose of your task? Maybe you're teaching. What is the purpose of the teaching? Or maybe you are teaching mathematics. So what is the purpose of mathematics? Yeah. So for example, like this. And it's about the purpose. And also, when we are doing teaching, you often feel that the time passing passing very fast? Are you do you think the time uh, is going fast or going slow? Yeah, and if you are experiencing the flow, and then the time is more likely for going fast. Can you imagine? Yeah. And also some other question is whether you have the control, whether you have control on your on the task, on the project you work on. Yeah, whether you have control on your job. Yeah. And also some other is like yeah, one of the questions, one of the question is the most important question is, if you don't need to work, okay, if you don't need to work, yeah, even though you don't need to work, sorry, let me rephrase. Okay, if somebody gives you the same salary which your work can generate, the income you can generate from your work, they give you the same and exact amount, will you still work for the same job? Will you still doing the same job? Yeah. So this is also one of the questions.
Yeah.
And there are also some questions. There are 9 questions. Yeah. But I couldn't remember all of them. But actually all of them is relate to the flow.
Yeah. So this is something like identifying the passion, right?
Yeah. Identify the passion.
Oh,
Is find
okay.
the passion.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's all for my sharing for today.
Yeah. For your second topic, it is yeah, it is quite long, and I have one question, which is in the we talk about how to be the optimist, right? The believer, and then the second way is visualization, and then yeah, and the method of the first method of or the first tips in visualization you say is to imagine the journey and also the destination. Yeah, for this one, yeah, my question is, must it be positive? I mean, the thing that we imagine.
No need.
Let's say, oh,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
but once like if it is kind of negative, it will stop us, uh, uh, maybe reduce our confidence or stop us from doing that.
No. Yeah. You also need to imagine the obstacle that you may face. Yeah. So when you face a real obstacle, and you tell yourself, yeah, this is a path, this is a journey. Yeah, I already foresee this. Yeah. After I cross this obstacle, I will get the success. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is like and it is like a preparation in advance, right?
Yes.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Visualization is like this. Yeah. You couldn't imagine the only good thing. Yeah. If you just imagine the only good thing, and then most likely you are having an unrealistic expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but But the third way to become the optimist, which is the cognitive therapy, this is all about the positive. You want to interpret the event positively, even though it's subjectively. Yeah, but subjectively doesn't mean that this is a fake thing. It just represents some part of the reality, some part of the fact. This is still a reality. You didn't fake it. You didn't like expect exactly different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this cognitive therapy is trying to protect our mental. Yeah, it's a way to protect our mental. Yeah, and also like the difference here is when you face an obstacle, you can use the cognitive therapy methods to cure your mental.
Yeah. Yep. And actually, I came across one sentence in a book which is trying to uh, help us with stress, and then it says that actually when that sentence is something like that. You see a wolf, and then because of you're scared, and then the wolf become larger.
Mm, mm,
Yeah. So I think this is magnifying, right?
yeah.
Mm.
Mm,
Yep.
mm. And
Oh.
and in the visualizations, because you won't imagine you get the failure at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
And also for the third one also, right? Include emotions. Also, we can also include some negative emotions, right?
mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you overcome it
Imagine.
eventually.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Um. Yeah. That's all.
Okay.
Mm.
So that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversations. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.